Hey, what's up? It's your boy Dub134 down back on the review. Today, I am here with my boy Chris. We are two huge Pacer fans now. Christopher is a much bigger Pacer fan than I am. His family has some really nice, sweet seats near the court, and but I'm still a big Pacer fan. This last series with the Cavs has been really hard for me because I'm from Columbus, so I got a little bit of Cleveland love in me too, but I do want to see the Pacers make it a series, but it's not ending up looking like that. But Chris, you want to go ahead and take us through this past season and expectations and what has been going on?
Well, yeah, right now they're a 7th seed. They're down 3-0 to the Cavs, which is disappointing. At least get 1 or 2 wins in there. But as a 7th seed, it's just not cutting it for me. I was expecting more of a 5 or 6 seed. And it's just kind of disappointing because they had so much potential going into the season, and it's not there.
Now, I would have to agree with you on that one, and I have been very frustrated with the Pacers of the last the last 3 seasons. Maybe even ever since after the run where they were the 1 seed.
Yeah, against the Heat.
Yeah, with when they were playing the Heat, and that really struggled with me because I thought that they could have done it. I thought that was the team to beat the Heat because they had a big man. They had a big man because LeBron can't play big men.
Yeah, Roy Hibbert was his kryptonite.
Yeah, and Roy Hibbert sucks. Like Roy Hibbert, was decent then, but he was even bad. He wasn't even that great, and I think that's the problem. And you know what? I think the Pacers are going in the right direction. But I think they're going to take about 5 steps back before they can do that with Paul George's situation.
Yeah.
But I see them going downhill first before they go climbing back up because of the whole Paul George thing. But honestly, I blame a lot of this on Larry Bird. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of Larry Bird, and I know you guys don't always want to blame it on him, but he made this team. And this team has underperformed. He traded away. He landed Lance Stevenson, which is great for the city. But he's really not the answer.
No, I think they need to either trade him or they got to trade Paul George. Not thinking about it, trade him to the Celtics, Lakers, someone, because we're not winning a championship anytime soon. It's the best way to trade him.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I thought that they should wait until Either they get a draft pick that they know is going to be in the top 3, or they wait until after the draft to trade him away to, let's say, the Lakers. They ship him off to the Lakers. Let's say we get D'Angelo Russell, or let's say we get a power forward like Julius Randle, and we get Brandon Ingram,
yeah.
And in the first overall pick, or one of the top 3, which would be let's say they get Lonzo Ball, which I have beef with Lonzo Ball and how good he's actually going to be. But let's say they get Lonzo Ball in there. That could be great for them overall because they could really get into the actually building around Myles Turner, which is where I think that they should start heading into. What do you think?
Yeah, that would be nice because then we could trade Teague for someone else, more role players to help Myles and Lonzo. That would just lead us into the right direction. Now,
I was thinking that now every great NBA team has had a great, usually a good center. Usually a good center. And that was one thing that Paul George never had, was a good center with him. And I thought Paul George could easily be
was a good center, though.
He was a good center, but he was a good center in 2 series No, due to the fact that he was hot. He was on fire for those series because against the Heat, he actually did well. He was on fire. And then he started going out decline because, Roy Hibbert.
It's Roy, yeah.
I don't know what you're supposed to do with Roy Hibbert, but I just struggle with the idea that Roy was an answer in the past. And I think Myles Turner is going to be a great player. It's just going to take at least 3 to 4 years until he reaches it.
Yeah, I think he's the future of the Pacers. He does everything, but he's kind of inconsistent for them. So that'll come with maturity in his age, but I think he's the answer for them.
Yeah, he's the answer. And I think what they need to get is for them to be contenders. Number one, these three main things have to happen. LeBron needs to retire.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter, okay? Either he retires or they find a way to get LeBron on the Pacers, which is never going to happen because he doesn't want to go to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Which you never know. That'd be great. Number two, they need to get a good point guard. They've had decent point guards. They've never had a good point guard.
I mean, I think Jeff Teague's suitable. I mean, they could always improve over him.
He is good, but he's getting older now, and I think he's towards the end of his run.
Yeah.
They need a good point guard, another rebounder / shooter, and a great
shooters
center.
For sure. Yeah.
And a bunch of role players.
Yeah, they don't have anyone really good coming off the bench. CJ's all right. Then they got Monte. Well, those two switching in and out, but Monte, they need to let him walk.
Yeah, I can't stand Monte Ellis. He's the most annoying player to watch. I remember I was at a game with one of my other buddies. It wasn't with you, but we were sitting there watching Monte Ellis, and he kept yelling at Monte Ellis because we were close to the court. He was yelling at Monte Ellis because Monte Ellis during pre-warm-ups he just shoots random shots. Like he takes half-court shots. He doesn't actually shoot realistic shots, and it gets annoying because in games he performs poorly, and we're paying him $10 million a year to be able to go out there and perform poorly.
Yeah, Monte's, I don't know, he's also inconsistent, which is kind of a thing with the Pacers. They have a bunch of inconsistent players.
Yeah, the other problem with the Pacers is that they fired the wrong coach. I thought they shouldn't have gotten rid of Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel was a great coach.
He was a great coach, and I do see what they meant. I do see what he wanted to do, Larry Bird, because he was a defensive-minded coach. But with Paul George, that was great to have a defensive-minded coach because easily Paul George took care of the offensive end with the team, and he took care of the defensive end. And it was low-scoring games and not like super entertaining, but they won a lot of games.
Yeah, that's true. I also think that their team was also defensive-minded when they had Roy Hibbert, David West, and George Hill was also a great defensive player. Same with Lance Stevenson back in his prime in Indiana before he came back. He was great at defense.
You know, honestly, I think Lance Stevenson is actually doing better than I expected when he came back.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's scoring more points than Monte. He's coming off the bench.
Yeah, and then in his most recent game, he played a lot more minutes.
Yeah.
They started putting him in for more minutes, and I thought the more they get him into it, the better it would be. So they're most definitely going to lose a series coming up.
Yeah.
They're going to they have to trade it with Paul George. They haven't been doing well in the past. They're a super inconsistent team, and they're like in the middle. They aren't ever good enough to go anywhere in like the conference, like to go in like the conference finals and to go into the finals. And they're never ever bad enough to get a great player in the draft. They're always sitting at the 20-25 mark for draft picks.
Yeah, I think they're 18th this year. So I mean, it's kind of, you can't get any stars that late.
I think they have to work it. I think they need to start trading players away. If they're going to do it through the draft, you got to start trading players for draft picks.
Yeah.
Do what the Celtics did. The Celtics have so much asset and picks and role players that they could have added 2 stars if they wanted to, but they didn't. They played it safe and they didn't do that.
Yeah, they could have easily traded one of those draft picks for like Jimmy Butler. Then they have another one in 2018 from the Nets. So they got 2 probably number 1 overall draft picks coming up.
Yeah, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Celtics later. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you, Chris, for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of the Pacers overall. And what do you guys think? Are they performing well? Are they not performing well? Do you guys think they're underachieving, overachieving? Do you think Myles Turner's going to be a great player in the future? Do you think that Paul George is going to leave? We really don't know about it overall because it's all very interesting. And I think personality has a lot to do with it. So what do you guys think in the comment section below? Don't comment, rate, subscribe for more videos. Have a great day.